John Ochapinti here.
It's Al.
NEPA Scene's own Carson Daly.
Bilkowski. Yeah. Bilkowski.
Yeah. And tonight, we're here with Eyal Filkolsky. Got that?
Yes.
Nailed it.
What's going on, man? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Beyond the Break podcast. I'm your host, Eyal, and this guy is
Johnnie dentist.
Johnny the dentist. How you doing, Johnny?
Not bad. I saw a girl that I think is cute at the Y trip today, and she was embarrassed, and I was like, nice save.
Okay.
So that was pretty sick. Yeah.
Very cool, Johnny.
How about you?
Busy. We've got the big break season 4 opened up for signups, and we've got a bunch of signups coming in. You see them as they come in as well, and I'm excited that we've got quite a bit of New York and New Jersey bands that are competing as well. So
definitely pumped on that.
Cool. Yeah, so it's gonna be great. But yeah, working a lot of with that, and life. But today, on today's podcast, we've got Ted Hazard that's going to be joining us. And I've known Ted for a couple of years now. I know he's really, really involved in the music scene. He in 2020, he won the SMA People's Choice for Best Folk, Blues, or Americana Act. He was nominated for the Best Animated Feature in 2019 in the Steamtown Music Awards. This guy has put out more albums than any musician I know or even heard of, on a national scale. He's got 19 albums out there and 3 singles, all 19? On Spotify. Right. He did 2 in 2010, he did 1 in 2011, 2 in 2012, 2013, like every year since 2010, with the exception of 2019. He's put out at least 1 album. It's pretty crazy.
It's prolific.
Yeah. So when I met him, he was just about to put out, or maybe already put out, his 2020 album, and the flowers are still standing. And I think that's a great album. We'll talk about that here, with him in a little while. And then most recently, he put out another album, Destructive Criticism, and I love the album. I think it's great. There's some like freaking awesome songs in there that I don't like. It's different than the stuff he's put out before, in my opinion. But he also does animations. So
I was gonna ask him about that.
Yeah, so he does animations.
He was doing that for a while, right? I thought I got the inside scoop.
What animations? Oh, he's got several animations,
like voiceovers and stuff.
So like animations, he's got Crust Tunes, to name a few: Crust Tunes, Wine and Dine, Total Crap, Ted and Simon's, Spare Change, Life is Pain, Devil to Pay. There's more. And then he's done voiceover work for like Zodiac Task Force and Petty and Pile, Fantastic Five. He's got definitely more there as well. So we'll talk about all that once he gets on here. But yeah, so when I met him, pretty interesting. It was shortly after I went on this hiatus, right? I went on this hiatus for like 6-7 years where I didn't touch a camera or do any production or really do anything like creative. And Ted, I ended up doing a music video for him. And it was like the first music video I did after, like I said, this huge hiatus. Well, we'll play it now, actually.
Sweet.
Every time I look up, I break my goddamn neck. The vultures in line at the grocery store, waiting to pick up scraps. Spent off those ransom on things that I don't want. Libertarians all claim that this is just a front, and that line is getting longer, and I swear that I'll be first. And I'm feeling like Bill Connors, and every day keeps getting worse, and every day keeps getting worse. The parking lots are empty, not that they weren't before. We're all chugging disinfectant because they boarded up the liquor stores. Personal hell, the heat is on the rise. The rednecks are all pointing guns at the pigs that fly. And that line is getting longer, and I swear that I'll be first. And I'm feeling like Bill Connors, and every day keeps getting worse, and every day keeps getting worse. Call me Benjamin Button, everything's in reverse. You're on one too many quarantine songs, you're analyzed or words. Keeps getting, I said that day keeps getting worse.
And that was Ted Hazard, and the flowers are still standing. And Ted, how are you, man?
I'm great.
No, welcome.
My mic
up, Ted?
needs to be closer to me.
No, you sound great, man.
All right, then the
Yeah.
mic's not going to get any closer than that, then.
Yeah, good, man. Hey, that's your lady, right?
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh,
That's what I figured, too.
that's Michelle Lynn. Okay, hi, Michelle Lynn. So anyway, dude, welcome to the show. Michelle says these lyrics are great. Haha, feel it. The editing supports the dark humor. So that's
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you, Michelle. Man, Ted, you're a busy man. You're a busy man. You're doing a lot of things. You know, I don't even know where to start, you know. Well, we just watched that video. So let's start there. You've been up to a lot, music wise. Let's talk about that. What's going on?
Well, as many people may know, last year I kind of took a break from doing a lot of music stuff. Especially solo stuff, mostly because I don't know, I feel like after putting out 19 albums, I was kind of a little burned out. So I kind of, you know, after that, I kind of took a year off from doing anything super serious with music to work on doing the voiceover and animation stuff. And then,
and yet you still ended up putting out another album, which is killer album, Destructive Criticism.
Well, since we did that video, and since Flowers was released, I was working on new stuff, but I kind of just kept it under the radar. Like maybe I played a few songs out that were new, but like I just kind of took those 2 years to work on the new stuff, and I'm kind of really happy about it. Back in June, I just, I wrote Marquee, and I was like, this song's so good, I have to record it right away. And then I put it out like the day I recorded it, I think, or it was like maybe like a couple days later. And then that kind of was the kick in the ass that I needed to just kind of tell me, hey, you really should put out a new record. Yeah. So I went into the studio in August. We laid down 17 songs. We didn't finish the record until October. And then we put the record out in December. And it's honestly probably the best thing I've put out.
I think it's phenomenal, man. Every song on there is just, like the music, the mix, the tone, everything about it is just like perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly the tone of that record. I honestly think tone wise, this is the happiest I've been with the record, because it's the absolute actual tone I've wanted to put out on a record for a very long time.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And you and I are going to be working on a video from that album as well.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to work on that. But we won't get into that today. So funny thing is about the Flowers song that we just heard. I still have that flower. It's downstairs in my house still, and it's obviously all dried up and everything, but yeah, it's just still hanging out.
Yeah.
Which is funny. If I remember correctly, that was the first time I almost met Brian Tooley.
Well, he did show up to the shooting.
He showed up to drop off a flower and then left.
Yeah, that's because he probably had to go to one of his many jobs that he had at the time,
or many bands.
Yeah. Well, that was before the great abandoning of Brian. That was when he was just doing solo stuff,
right?
And then kind of like the following couple months after that, he was like, "Oh, hey, I'm in a psychobilly band now. Oh, hey, I'm in All the Damn Vampires. Oh, hey, I'm in Riggs's band now."
Right.
So he's in like a ton of bands now.
Yeah, he's also in like a tribute band, and yeah, so
he was in my band for a little bit.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I remember the three of us jamming a few times.
Mm-hmm.
That was when what's his name, Chris, I think.
Yeah, Decker, and then Decker moved to South Carolina, and that was the end of that for a little while.
Yeah, he was the only other upright bassist in the area other than Ian from One Revived.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But yeah, anyway. So that's a lot of music, man. That's a lot of music. What's your well, I kind of noticed something, right? You have in 2015 self-reconstruction. No, 2016 reconstruction was your album that you put out. And was that shortly after and I don't know if you mind me bringing this up, but you went sober, right, around that time?
Actually, no, that was not the first record I put out after I got sober. The first record I actually put out after I got sober was the So Long and Thanks for All the Booze EP.
That's right. Okay. All right. Yeah. And then is there like a theme across all the albums, or kind of like a story between, like, does it tell?
I would like to think that a lot of the records kind of have their own little underlying themes to them.
Yeah.
Like Candlelight, which was the record that was put out right before Self-Reconstruction, was very much about like kind of living in flux, like transitional periods, where Self-Reconstruction is about kind of taking off those shackles that kind of held you down, like those last vestiges of alcoholism, and you're just trying to finally just, get rid of them. That's pretty much what that record is about.
Right on. Right on. Yeah, and then you did self-deconstruction or self-destruction, like an acoustic 4-song.
Yeah, that was more or less like a tongue-in-cheek play off of self-reconstruction, because I put out self-reconstruction and a lot of people were like, "Oh, a full band record." And I'm like, "What's wrong?" And they're like, "Nothing. It's just usually you play acoustic and we kind of like that. But this is okay, I guess." So I was just kind of like, "All right, well, if you want to hear these songs acoustic, here they are."
Yeah, gotcha.
Nice.
So your most recent album, the other members that were the other musicians that were recording with you, are they like, are you guys a band now? Or are you gonna have for as far as playing live as a full set, what's your plan with that?
Well, the musicians on Destructive Criticism, I mostly did the guitars, the banjo, of course, the piano, and the washboard. Chris, he flew in from South Carolina to do the stand-up bass.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he actually flew, however many hours it takes, he flew up, he came right into the studio right when we got there. It took about 6 hours to lay down his stand-up bass tracks, and then the next day he flew back.
Wow.
So,
That's awesome.
and then we had a couple other sessions where we had to finish everything. But Chris was very adamant about being on the record. The only other musician on the record was Tyler from Condition Oakland, and he played slide guitar, electric guitar on one song, and he played mandolin on a song. As far as full band stuff goes, right now I'm kind of playing with Bobby from Condition Oakland and Ethan, who used to play bass with Condition Oakland, from time to time.
Yeah.
So just for the time being, it's going to be banjo, bass, and drums. If we can find anything else, we'll take it.
So, well, you're listening out there. If you can play something and you like what you hear, definitely check out Destructive Criticism, because it's different than what we just played, and it's. Go ahead.
Well, I had. Well, we started jamming just because the whole reason we started jamming was because Condition Oakland was supposed to play a show with the one guy from CKY at some place near Allentown, and Tyler couldn't do it because his wife was playing the fest. Sweet Anne Marie was playing the fest, so they had to go down there. So he said, "Hey Ted, why don't you and Bobby play your songs live and get like Ethan to play bass?" And I was like, "That's a cool idea." So we got the songs together and we did it. And then the guys were like, "When are we practicing again?" I'm like, I guess whenever you want. And this went through a couple different phases. I started doing it with the banjo, and they seemed to really like it. And then I showed up one day with the electric guitar, and I'm like, "Let's try this." And then after we played with the electric guitar once, they're like, "Get the banjo back out, because this just doesn't sound the same."
Right. Yeah. No, banjo's definitely got this. It's very unique. You can always hear a banjo, cut right through, everything, and it stands out.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing the banjo? I mean, you play a lot of instruments. Tell us about that. When did you start? What did you start with?
I actually started playing the banjo right after I finished up doing "And the Flowers Are Still Standing." And the reasoning for that was because on Flowers, we had a banjo on one or two songs, and I was like, "That sounds pretty cool." And then I asked Chris, who played banjo on that record, I was like, "Do you want to be on the next Condition Oakland record?" And he was like, "Absolutely." So, we made the plans to record that day, and he couldn't make it because something happened with one of his kids. And I was like, screw it, I'll play the banjo part on the song. And Joe Loftus was like, do you know how to play the banjo? I'm like, nope, figure it out though. So screwed around on it for a little bit, got the part we needed. And then I think that week I traded in a Gibson SG for a Washburn banjo and pretty much just taught myself all my songs on it. And that's how I learned how to play banjo. It took me about 2 weeks to kind of figure it out, but it took me about like a year and a half to get actually good at it.
Yeah. Well, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that you picked that up so recently, as but you've been playing other instruments for far longer, right?
Yeah, I've been playing bass since I was 16. I've been playing piano since I was about I want to say 7 or 8.
Damn.
Guitar since I was about 18. And I dabbled in accordion for a little while, but I kind of lost interest in that.
So I guess it's safe to say that you grew up in a household that allows you to, and did they push you to do music, or
Well,
was that
with
something that they
piano,
supported?
the reason I started playing piano was because when I was 6, we moved into a house and there was a piano in the basement, and my mom was like, well, got to put that to good use. You're going to go get piano lessons. And I was like, I want to learn how to play piano. It's like, well, too bad you're going. So I started taking piano lessons. And then I think when I was around 14 or 15, I got super into being on the wrestling team in high school. And I was like, I can't take piano lessons anymore. I'm doing this now. And they were like, right, that's fine. And then when I was 16, I started getting real big into the music scene. And my brother, who plays guitar, was he's living with us at the time. I was like, I really want to get into playing something. And he's like, why don't you play bass? I'm like, why? And he's like, because it's like a guitar, but it's got 4 strings, which totally is not the definition of a bass.
Not
But
at all.
at the time, I'm thinking, oh, that should be way easier. So I got a bass and I started just taught myself songs on it, and I got pretty good at it. And then when I got pretty good bass, I just started kind of teaching myself how to play guitar, and
Nice.
kind of eventually got good at some of them.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're a very, very talented musician, versatile. So let's switch gears a little bit here, because you do far more than music. You do voiceovers, and you do animations. Let's talk about your animations. What got you into that?
I always drew when I was younger. Got really into doing my own little comics in high school. Most of my 10th grade year, I kind of just doodled in a book and made comics and Xeroxed them and sold them to people. And I kind of kept doing that through my adult life, but not the Xeroxing part. I actually worked for some independent publishers and was making okay money with it until they folded. And then I started doing web comics, and everyone was always kind of on my ass about hey, why don't you do animation? And I'm like, I can't do animation. Animation's too time consuming. And then one day I went to a Thanksgiving dinner with someone, and their parents were like, hey, well, so what do you do? And I'm like, I do comic strips. They're like, oh, you mean cartoons? I'm like, no, the little things you see in the newspaper. And they're like, oh, would have been real cool if it was cartoons. So I think the next day I kind of just woke up and was like, all right, let's figure this animation thing out. And I kind of watched a couple YouTube videos, and I was like, all right, that's all I need to know. Let's try to do this. And, cut a couple stupid voices and put an animation together. And, I just kept working at it and got better at it.
Nice.
Did you ever trade in one of your comics for something funny in high school, 6-pack of beer?
I don't think so. I don't think I ever did that. Actually, probably just something dumb, like a soda or something. I don't know.
Pizza?
Yeah, pizza, something yeah, they were kind of thrown around like currency at the time.
Yeah. So if if there's somebody out there listening that's like, man, I've always kind of wanted to get in not comics, but like making animations. Like, what kind of advice would you give them? What, where would they start? What?
It's a lot of patience. You need to have a lot of patience to do it. It's not just you're going to learn it overnight. It's a lot of trial and error. Same thing with voiceover. You're not going to find someone that does like a cartoon online and email them and say, hey, can I do a voice for you? Because half the time they're probably just going to be like, ugh, not another one. Getting into voiceover is not an easy thing to do.
No,
and learning animation it's not easy, but if you take the time and you commit yourself, you probably could get pretty good at it.
Yeah. Well, I figure there's a lot of tools out there now to ease the pain, if you will, not take away, not take it away completely, but definitely tools out there that help you along the way. Same thing in filmmaking on my end of things, where it's like I was talking to a few actually. There's a movie that's going to be produced down in Nanticoke called Nanticoke. It's like a horror zombie type of movie, and I was talking to the producer and the director, and we were talking about like storyboarding and things like that, and we were discussing like how we're gonna do this pre-production, being that I'm here, the director is up in like Massachusetts, and the producer's down in like 2 hours away. How are we going to do this? And we're talking through it. We've come up with a plan, and I bring it up. I'm like, man, we are so spoiled as filmmakers today. We wouldn't be able to do this like this 40 years ago. It's unbelievable the amount of technology that has helped us this far. It's nobody's really in the dark room splicing film reel together anymore. That's at $1,000 a foot for film, for movie film. It's ones and zeros. Digital is you just delete them, right? You get more hard drive, whatever. So like we're super spoiled.
Yeah, same thing goes with voice acting. I mean, back in the 80s, they had to have everybody in the same studio at the same time. And, these days, half the voice actors that I do work with, they live across the country. Like I work with guys from Arizona, Seattle, well, Washington, whatever. People from Europe I work with sometimes. It's nuts,
Yeah. And you can do, for the most part, you can do it from the comfort of your own home.
Yes, as long as you have the right equipment.
Right. These days you don't really, if you invest a little bit into yourself, you don't have to go to a studio to record voiceovers. You can do it just right from home. Speaking of voiceovers, what's your favorite character over the years of doing voiceovers? What's your favorite character that you've done?
Probably, honest to God, probably my favorite character to do has to be either Krusty Keenan or well, the voice is kind of the same, either Simon or JD from Devil to Pay. I mean, they're kind of similar. Simon's a little more kind of coked out, and JD's a little more kind of laid back. But it's almost the same voice. But it's actually kind of led me to get some decent paid work in voiceover, which I'm kind of grateful for, but it's also kind of typecasting me, unfortunately, as playing the angry Italian guy.
Do you mind giving us a little snippet of a line or something? Or...
I don't know. I'm kind of like on the spot here,
Gotcha. Nice.
Do you ever bring any voiceover into the bedroom or leading up to the bedroom, like, hey, you're
Oh,
looking
well,
good.
sometimes I've actually used that voice once or twice, and I was told to get out of the room. I would, with my girlfriend, sometimes I will make voices for the cats.
We've got a
Nice.
question from Justin Bravo, who was on last week, actually. What's your favorite character someone else voices over?
I'm actually a really big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm actually friends with Mike Pollock, who does the voice of Dr. Robotnik.
Oh, I know.
We're actually on a show together where he plays an angry film producer / turkey, and I play a fox that's like kind of like his like number two, and he just basically berates me constantly.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's kind of like a crazy like wet dream.
What's
That's
the show
awesome.
called? Where can people find it?
It's called Chucky Chicken. They have like shorts online right now on YouTube. There's actually an animatic of me and Mike working together, but they're working on the first official pilot episode right now, and it's kind of almost halfway there. I'd say they're still kind of working on it.
Wow. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. I'm actually going to see if I can pull up like a little snippet or something from
cool.
it.
Yeah.
So
if you go on my YouTube, there is a playlist called Stuff I Voiced. It might be on there.
I was in a movie with the girl who was in Sonic the Hedgehog, Tika Sumpter.
That's cool.
Yeah, she's cool. Are you a fan of that too, or no? You more so like the games and?
Well, I thought the movies were really good. I mean, it's kind of perfect. Like if there was a video game movie that was perfect, that would probably have been it.
What'd you think about like everyone bullying them to change Sonic the Hedgehog? I thought that was a good move.
Yeah, I feel like them actually. Whoa, what is that?
is that it? Is that not it?
I don't think that's it. I don't know what's going on up there. What is happening? No, that's Chuck Chicken. You want Chucky Chicken.
Chucky Chicken.
Hey, click in on that the Ted Hazard thing with the little.
Also gonna
There
hit
you go.
subscribe. I don't know why I'm not subscribed already.
Nah, nobody subscribes to YouTube anymore. YouTube subscribers are like. So go down. There should be a playlists
Or
somewhere
videos.
on there.
All right.
Should be one that says stuff I've voiced.
Stuff
Top right.
There it is.
Oh,
is that it?
Why is the Pink Panther on there? Hit pause on that.
No, it's paused. It's paused. So
why was that?
Chucky Chicken.
It should be the
here
last
it is.
Chucky Chicken thing on there.
That's
Yeah.
it? All right.
Yep, that's me and Dr. Robotnik.
All right.
And this is just an animatic, so where's the voices?
Can you hear it?
No.
Can't hear nothing.
No. Man, that's annoying. Oh well, I'm sorry. I tried.
They'll still be able to look it up at least if they want.
Yeah. Again, I don't know why the Pink Panther's on there. That's weird. I was actually watching that the other morning with our kitten because she's the weirdest thing. Like she like watches, like she doesn't just watch like things going across the screen like mice on like the little cat games on YouTube. Like she'll watch a cartoon, she'll sit there and just like, oh, why is that cat doing that to that dude? You know, strangest thing.
You cats or dogs? Would you rather a cat or a dog?
I was a dog person for the longest time, but I'm slowly turning into a cat person.
What would you rather be, a cat or a dog?
Oh man, that's tough. I think I'd rather be a cat, honestly.
Freakish athleticism, snap whenever.
9 lives.
Yeah, kind of just keep to myself.
Yeah, you don't have to go out if you don't want to. You could escape and then climb trees if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I posted a link to this video in the comment section of a few, what is it, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So if you're on there, just look in the comments and you can check that video out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Sound. So yeah, let's see. I've got a couple of questions here from you, or not from you, for you.
From me.
Yeah.
Question number one, why are you the way that you are? Question two, how could you?
Can you tell me about any particularly challenging or memorable projects, aside from, obviously, you told us just now about the Chucky Chicken, but aside from that, anything that just pops out that you want to tell us about?
Challenging voiceover projects. I will tell you, any video game you get hired to do is a pain in the ass. And because it is literally 200 lines of you saying things, that your little NPCs would say, but then you also have to do the little grunts and breathing. So like if it was for like a Fallout mod and I had to play like a I don't know, it was like a goblin or some shit. So I had to talk like this constantly. But then like every single other little voice was like, oh. And right now I'm actually in the midst of doing a game for Steam. And it's actually like it's a speaking role, it's a big role, but it's a lot of words and it's gonna take a little while, but it's gonna be worth it in the end.
Are you allowed to tell us what the game is?
Nope.
Gotcha.
Nope. NDA.
Yep.
So
that's the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking about I was mentioning the movie down in Nanticoke. Are you have you heard about it? Are you gonna do anything with it? No,
I haven't heard anything about it. If there's a way to get in it somehow, I would jump at that opportunity. I mean, I've never done any. I mean, I've done some acting before on camera, but I've never done anything in like, film or anything like that. And I think that's something I'd like to get into at some point.
I gotcha. So Nanticoke is a full feature film that one of the producers is from Nanticoke, and she worked on like different art boards, the high school there, she did a lot of stuff there, so she's one of the producers. So I believe that's why it's based in Nanticoke. So they're they started this in 2014. In 2014 they were looking for producers. They had the script, all of that, or not producers, investors. And then they got an investor for, I can't say the price, I don't think, but for a decent, a decent chunk to make a full feature film. And a week or so before they were supposed to get the funding, that investor unfortunately passed away. So then they went on the search again, looking for investors, and COVID hit. So now, it's been years, and they're like, screw it, let's just, all the producers, or the two producers, put their own money into it to just go ahead and produce it. So obviously it's much less than the funding they were supposed to originally receive. But it's still pretty damn cool that they're shooting a full feature film here. And it's, even though I've always loved zombies, they were overplayed for a while now, with like The Walking Dead and stuff. I think that was like the beginning of the end of the zombie. Right. But the classics, I love the classics. And even some of the new ones.
For me, the last classic zombie movie was Shaun of the Dead. Okay. It was like that made zombie movies. Yeah, that made me realize zombie movies they were becoming passé,
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if I don't see another zombie movie, I'll be happy.
Right,
And then
right.
18 zombie movies came out, and I was like, okay.
Right. So, I mean, some people are over zombied, and that's cool. That's fine, but to me, it's like, it's a dream come true to be able to work on a full feature zombie film. So I've been
Hey.
hired to be the lighting director on that.
That's cool.
So we'll be shooting in mid 2023. It's a 2-week shoot. But they are they're still hiring for crew. They have a form that you fill out that's out right now if you want to be a background actor, non-speaking roles, or a zombie or whatever, or just the guy waiting for the bus, whatever.
I feel like I can make a good guy waiting for the bus.
I think so.
Hey, I'm waiting here. Throw a little real life voice acting in there, and then I get kind of bit and turn into a zombie, and it's like, oh no, that's the guy who was waiting for the bus.
I've seen him before, yeah. And then here, within the next month or two, from what I understand, they'll have another form out for people who are looking for, want some more FaceTime, some speaking roles, whether it be, just an extra that's, here's your chance, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like if there's any kind of Bruce Campbell-esque cameo that I can do, feel like that's what I should do in that movie.
I could see that.
Or either that, or the guy that's part of the survival group that kind of just screws everybody over. I feel like that could be me.
the guy that got bit but won't tell anybody else.
What's that big bite mark on your arm? Nobody.
What? Nothing.
Go away.
I fell. You fell.
I was getting lucky.
That looks
What
like
do you
bite
have
marks.
nothing about it, huh?
It's just a rash. Leave me alone.
Your arm? You gave me a hickey on your arm?
For those that want to know, if you go to facebook.com/Nanticoke and I'll put that on the screen here right there, you'll find a lot of info there. If you just scroll through all the posts, you'll see the form to fill out. So yeah, check it out. Let people know, that there's going to be a movie shot here. I think I think the last movie that was shot in this area was Baby Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anthony, what's his name from Silence of the Lambs, did a scene on Wyoming Ave for one of his movies.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins.
So
A girl
I'll
I
actually
made out with
post this
Dad.
link also in the comments for anybody. So go like the page and do all that awesome stuff. So do you have any shows coming up that you want to tell us about?
Next show I have is January 28th at Hope and Coffee in Tamaqua, Pennsylvania. After that, I don't know what I have coming up. I don't really have anything planned out that far except for the tour in May.
And is that going to be like a solo thing, or are you going to have?
Yeah, it's going to be a solo thing. I'm going to be playing some solo shows on the way down to Florida, coming back.
Cool.
It's a half family trip, half tour.
Cool. Yeah. Well, hey, you gotta make the most of it, man. You're doing the right thing. Speaking of shows, there's a lot of shows coming up here in the next week, and Robin is going to tell you guys all about them.
Hi, it's Robin with this week's original shows in northeastern Pennsylvania. On Friday, the 13th, at the V-Spot in Scranton, University Drive, and Those Clever Foxes. At Breaker Brewing Outpost in Archbald, Bradley Phillip Parks. At the Stonehouse in Carbondale, Channel 65. At the Polish American Veterans Club in Kingston, Elephants Dancing Loop Group Night 1. At Back Mountain Brewing in Dallas, Teddy Young Duo. On Saturday, the 14th, at Classics in Scranton, The Crates and 2 other bands. At the Stonehouse Stonehouse in Carbondale, the Sarah Hulse Band at Tap at Humboldt, the Keystone Groove, at Pisano Family Wines in Howknot Creek, Mellifluous, at the River Street Jazz Cafe in Plains, Clarence Spady and his band, at the Joint 53 in Pittston, Teddy Young Duo, at the Polish American Veterans Club in Kingston, Elephants Dancing Loop Group Night 2. On Sunday, the 15th, at North Slope Pub in Dallas, Adam McKinley. Wednesday, the 18th, at the Stonehouse in Carbondale, Jesse Mower and Sarah Hulse. If you want your show featured on the next episode, go to thebigbreak.org/podcast and click the Submit Your Show button.
Excellent job, Robin, as always. Yeah, I don't know if you heard of Elephants Dancing. Have you seen them?
I've talked to them, one of the people from that band before.
Yeah. Briefly. Yeah. They're great. They're great. And
I heard they're really good.
Michael from Elephants Dancing is one of the judges for season 4 of The Big Break, and I'm really excited for that. He's actually very, very educated in music. He's got a bachelor's, I forget in which one's which, but one of them is for like music composition, and the other one is, and then he's got a master's also for also something music related. I don't know.
And he played volleyball at Wilkes.
And he played volleyball at Wilkes.
I'm pretty sure if you play volleyball in Wilkes, they kind of just hand you a music degree and they're like, here, you know what, you earned this. You signed up for the volleyball team, you earned this.
But yeah, I'm really excited for that, for season 4. Are you gonna be competing this season?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. Haven't competed before, you know.
Right.
Well, we could do a live interview if you compete.
No way that can be more awkward than this.
We mean in person, you know, we'll actually meet in person.
Trust me, it can be.
Yes.
Well, even if I don't compete and you need people to play, count me in.
Well, yeah, you guys actually, what was it, at Finnegan's, right, for season 2?
Yes.
You guys closed up the show, is that right?
Yeah, that was when we played right after Russell Austin.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That was a interesting night.
Yes, it was. Not a bad night. Interesting, for sure. So yeah, what can we expect from Ted Hazard here, you know, in the next foreseeable future?
The next foreseeable future, let's see. I'm probably going to be producing some more episodes of Trash Cats in the near future. Kind of taking a little break from that right now so I can get the voiceover for this game done. I'm going to be a featured actor on an upcoming audio drama. It's actually second season of this audio drama over the summer. And I can't remember the name of it right now. It's called Diabolical Tales. That's the name of it. But anyways, the guy heard of me from doing voiceover for the audio drama Calamity and for Zodiac Task Force. And, you know, when you're a voice actor and you do it from home, about 60% of what you do is actually finding jobs to do. So I'll just go on Reddit, I'll go on Twitter, and I'll just look for auditions, and then I'll just message and be like, hey, I'd like to audition. This guy saw my name and was like, oh, you're the bartender dude from Calamity. Hell yeah, I want you on my show. And I'm like, well, what roles do you have? He's like, here's like a list of 20. Just audition for what you think you can do. And I auditioned for like all 20 of them. And he was like, you could do voices for every one of these characters if you want.
Oh,
so,
wow. That's awesome, dude. That's so badass. Are you like on stage 32 or anyone, you know,
backstage?
I don't know what stage 32 is.
32 and backstage, they're kind of like
damn, you gotta get on those.
Yeah. So you go on there, you create your profile. It's basically like a LinkedIn profile,
Okay.
but
Almost like
for
Indeed, but for strictly like for acting and stuff,
right
voiceover.
for anything like that. Anything production related, talent or production. So either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had Will on here from okay, let me remember his last name. Palumbo. Will Palumbo from the Keystone Stage. He was on here a few weeks ago, and he was talking about he made a Stage 32 account, and he got some roles from there pretty quick. He actually went up to Brooklyn or somewhere there to shoot a short. So places like that, definitely check those out.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of resources out there to look into. Speaking of, do you have like a link tree or something that you can share with us, that basically a link to where everybody can find your stuff all over the place?
Yeah, it's actually on my Instagram, right in the bio.
On your Instagram. So let's take
Yeah.
a look at your Instagram real quick and see if I can find that. Oh yeah, Linktree right there. So I'll post this up in the comments too. So if anybody wants to check out any of Ted's work, past, present, or keep up with him and subscribe and follow and all that stuff, so you see what he does in the future. Really cool stuff, man. So there it is. So what else, man? What else is going on, like in your life, aside from productions and things like that? Let's get, for the last few minutes here, let's get a little personal, man.
Let's get personal.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
get personal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. Moving in with my girlfriend in March, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Johnny is moving to a new apartment tomorrow.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so there's
No girlfriend, but
no, sometimes you gotta
This
just
fun.
have your own apartment.
girlfriend too.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so that's going on. Started kind of a new job at the beginning of the year, so that was kind of cool. So got a little bit more money coming in.
That's always good.
And besides that, that's pretty much all that's been going on with me. That's why I kind of haven't been talking that much, kind of working on the video game thing and working the new job and, being a good boyfriend.
That's all good stuff, dude.
This is a big maybe, but I might start a punk side project this year because, man, I love playing me some banjo, but sometimes you got to get a bass guitar and just kind of hammer out those feelings, with angry guitars and drums.
Fast drums, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think that would be cool. Like I know you hit me up sometimes to jam, and like I'm like always like, damn, I really want to, but I've got like all these projects, right? But I really want to find figure out a way I can like put some time aside to do that, and maybe our times will align and we can do some punk shit together. Maybe we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Because it's probably going to be me and Tyler from Condition Oakland.
Oh, right, right.
Tyler's living in Wilkes-Barre right now, so we're Ted Hazard, whatever it's called, Ted Hazard Experience. We practice in Kutztown, which for the big shows, that's fine. I'll make a trip to Kutztown for band practice, but for like something more regular, I'd like to not have to drive an hour and a half to band practice.
Right. Yeah, with these guys.
Wait, where are you out of? You're out of
Hazleton.
You're in Hazleton, okay.
Yeah.
And that's what, like 30 from Wilkes-Barre?
Yeah, about 30, 40.
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah.
Depends who's driving, what time of day, and
Yeah.
what season.
Or
What
Have a
roads
lot
you
to do with it.
what roads you take.
Yeah. Any last words of wisdom you may want to share with our audience? Any last plugs? I know you're on Merch Booth.
Yes, I am on
So
Merch
you-
Booth.
So make sure you go to Merch Booth and hey, John Fry. He
Yes.
says hello.
Go to Merch Booth and buy all my shirts and tell them that you want more shirt designs, so they put more shirt designs up for me.
Word. Word. Yeah, we're on Merch Booth as well. A lot of our artists are on Merch Booth. Most of the partners or otherwise sponsors, etc., that we work with are on Merch Booth. So really, really cool stuff there. Definitely go check that out. Ted, thank you so much for coming on the show. I think I'm just at awe, at the amount of stuff that you've put out there, not just recently, but like throughout the years. You're definitely creating a lot of content, a lot of good stuff. And just keep going, man. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So we're going to finish out this show. Ted, you can stick around after the show so we can chat if you want.
Okay.
But we're going to finish off with another music video that we worked on together. Did this one in my living room or dining room, or what would be a dining room anyway. And it's Bleeding a Rainbow. And this can also be found on Spotify and everywhere else. Ted, thank you, buddy.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Ted.
1, 2, 3, 4. The lights go on at 10 a.m. We all smile, but we pretend it's more comfortable back here, away from the droves of people I've been. Try to wine and dine, and all they do is whine. After 10 long years, you start to lose your mind. What the fuck do you want from me? Cut my wrist and watch me bleed. Fucking rainbows for everyone to see. I hope you're happy. What the fuck do you want from me? Cut my wrist and watch me bleed. Fucking rainbows for everyone to see. I hope you're happy. No, this isn't me. Don't want this on my obituary. Maybe someday I'll be free. Until then, don't think I can be so lucky. hope you're happy. I hope you're happy.